Sable doesn't ask you to save the world, fight a war, or tickle a demon. Instead, it just asks you to find yourself. Sable sets out from the village she's called home her entire life in search of her place in the world. This is a coming-of-age story told through exploration and discovery. It's an interactive road trip film. It's like The Road, with less despair and ugly crying. You spend your time looking for new discoveries, completing simple quests, and just taking in the sights. This is a different world. The visual and sonic landscape make every moment of exploration feel special. Even traveling over the dunes, the undulating hum of your bike, the wistful soundtrack, and the ever-changing horizon. There's a sort of giddy unease to it. You're looking for something new, but you're alone, and you feel it. Then you see something on the horizon, be it a wrecked ship, eclectic town, or an abandoned ruin. As you get closer, it dominates the landscape, towering above you. You're like a curious little ant skittering and climbing across the world. When you delve into these places, there's always something new and slightly weird to find. It could be an arcane light puzzle, a labyrinthine mechanical ship, or even just a town where you play hide and seek with the kids. This points of light structure and the distinct areas makes exploration almost natural, and the truly great moments come when you just happen to see something on the horizon and go have a look. This world invites you to explore by making everything so intriguing, but the mechanics make the act of exploration an absolute delight. There's no real fighting and scrapping. The systems are mostly about movement and environmental puzzles. Sable can climb almost any surface and glide through the air in a big bubble, turning the world itself into a puzzle. Any mountain is climbable if only you could find enough stamina and a route. Stamina is often where I have problems, but the mechanics are pliable enough that you always feel like you solved it your way. The more explicit puzzles mix this movement with large animated machinery. They're tangible and well-constructed head-scratchers. Even the travel of open spaces is rhythmically rewarding. You develop a bond with your glider. It's a joy to ride. It doesn't feel quite like any vehicle in games. There's a sort of motion of the sand ocean you gotta manage, which sounds kinda uncomfortable, but is actually quite fun. The story and quests that guide this experience have just enough direction to not feel aimless. You're pointed in a general direction, but everything after that feels like your adventure. Essentially, the main goal is to get masks. Each type of mask is related to a specific profession, like merchant, machinist, or cartographer. When you get a mask, you can return to your village and pick that vocation. It's a fun bit of world building and less emotionally taxing than a 3-stage corporate interview, and much less emotionally taxing than The Road. To get any of these masks, you collect 3 badges from that specific profession. Conversations with these professionals and everybody in this game is honest, cheeky, and a bit otherworldly. It's just consistently charming. They usually give you simple quests to explore a specific location or return with a specific item. It's simple but effective at getting you out of bed and exploring this enchanting world. Every piece of lore and history you discover is an intriguing treat, but this world doesn't need to pop a loot box to get you exploring. It's good enough without that band-aid. When I finished The Witcher 3, I took Geralt out on one last horse ride across the continent and left him outside a cottage surrounded by people he loved. It was a slightly ridiculous farewell to a world I'd fallen in love with across my 100 hours of play. Sable got under my skin so quickly that I wanted to do the same after just 6 hours. You see, coming-of-age stories don't just pull us back to our younger years, they speak to that giddy mixture of excitement and apprehension that comes with any transition, getting a new job, moving cities, or starting a family. Sable perfectly distills that feeling into a dense and phenomenally well-presented package, and that is why it's so good.